If we're adding fractions and we've got mixed numbers like this with the big number and then the fraction part, we need to make them top heavy. So to do that, we're going to do the big number times the bottom number, add on the top. So 1 times 3 is 3, add on the 2 is 5. So 1 2/3 becomes 5 over 3. Add, and again we're going to do big times bottom, add on the top. So 2 times 4 is 8, add 3 is 11 over 4. And we can see that by drawing it. So 1 2/3 is 1 whole and 2/3. So if I split them into thirds, because that's what we're working in, 1 whole is 3/3, and then we've got another 2/3. So altogether that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thirds, which is why we've got 5 over 3 here. And then the same with the other one, we could draw it out, but it's good to remember that it's big times bottom, add on the top. Big times bottom, add on the top. Okay, lovely. So that's changed them both to top-heavy fractions. Now when we add or subtract fractions, we need to make the denominators the same. So I'm going to make both of these out of 12. Now to keep fractions equivalent, whatever you times the bottom by, in this case that's 4, you need to times the top, the numerator, by the same thing. So if you've done 3 times 4 to get 12, you need to do 5 times 4, which is 20. On the second fraction, if I've multiplied 4 by 3 to get 12, I need to also multiply the numerator by 3. So 11 times 3 is 33. And now we can add them together. So because they're both now out of 12, I can add 20, add 33 to get 53 out of 12. Now we're not going to leave it like that because the number on the top is bigger, which means we're going to say how many 12s fit in to 53. Well, think about your 12 times table. You've got 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. So 60's gone too big. So 1, 2, 3, 4 whole times 12 fits into 58. And from to 53, sorry. And from 48 up to 53, we've got 5 left over. So 5 over 12 is our remainder. And that stays out of 12 there because it was out of 12 here. So that's it. 4 and 5/12. So make any mixed numbers top heavy. Then make the denominators the same if you're adding or subtracting. And then change it back to a mixed number if you can. To subtract, again, we're going to do big times the bottom, add on the top. So 5 times 3 is 15. Add 2 is 17 over 3. Stays out of 3 because it was out of 3 before. For the next one, I'm going to again do big times bottom, add on the top. So 2 times 4 is 8. Add on 3 is 11 over 4. And this is subtracting this time. Again, we want to make the denominators the same. I'm going to use 12 because 12 is the first number in the 3 times table and it's in the 4 times table. What have I done to this fraction to make it out of 12? I've times by 4 on the bottom. So I'm also going to times the top by 4 and that is 68. And on this side, I've multiplied the bottom by 3. So I'm also going to times the top by 3. So that becomes 33. And I'm subtracting here. 68, take away 33, is 8 take 3 is 5, 6 take 3 is 3. So 35 over 12. How many 12s go into 35? We've got our 12, 24, 36. That's our 12 times table. 36 is too big, so this goes in 2 whole times. That's 24, and then you've got 11 more to get up to 35, so 11 left over out of 12. And that's exactly the same as adding. The only difference was that we subtracted here, so that's how you subtract fractions. Work out 1 7/8 multiplied by 5 1/3. So still because we've got mixed fractions, we're going to make them top heavy. And to do that, we do big times bottom, add on the top. So 1 times 8 is 8, add 7 is 15 over 8, stays out of 8. Multiplied by 5 times 3 is 15, add the 1 is 16 over 3. And then to multiply fractions, we just do the top times the top and the bottom times the bottom. So 15 times by 16, 6 times 5 is 30, carry the 3, and 6 times 1 is 6, add the 3 is 9. And then we're moving over to the 1 now, so I'm going to put a 0 here. 1 times 5 is 5, and 1 times 1 is 1. If you don't know that method, then you can always use this method where you draw boxes. So 15 would go across the top, times by 16. Every box gets split diagonally. Make them a bit longer for someone to put the answer. 5 times 1 is 5, so we put 0, 5. So we're doing the number at the top times the number at the side. 5 times 6 is 30, so we put 3, 0 there in that box. 1 times 1 is 1, so we put 0, 1. And 1 times 6 is 6, so 0, 6. Then you add down each diagonal section, so that's a 0. 5 add 3 add 6 is 14, carry the 1. And 1 add 1 is 2. So either way, 240. And that's over 8 times 3, which is 24. So multiplying is lovely because you can just do the top times the top and the bottom times the bottom. 240 divided by 24, or how many 24s fit into 240, is just 10. And there's no remainder, so our answer to this question is just 10. That's how many times 24 fits into 240, a whole number of times, and there's no remainder, so that's our answer. For dividing, we do exactly the same thing, but we're going to keep, flip, and change, or keep, change, flip. So 3.5, 3 times 2 is 6, add on the 1 is 7, over 2, divided by 2 times 5 is 10, add the 4 is 14 over 5. And then when we divide a fraction, divide by a fraction, we keep the first fraction the same, change the divide to a times, and flip the second fraction upside down. And then we can times, and we know that to times, we do the top times the top, so 35, over the bottom times the bottom. 2 times 14 is 28. Now our top number's bigger, so we're going to say how many 28s go into 35, and that fits in one whole time with 7 left over out of 28. And this fraction, both the numbers are in the 7 times table, so we can divide by 7 to simplify it. So it becomes 1 whole and 1 over 4. That's your final answer.